And when you sit in a social circumstance and you become quiet and so present, everything falls apart. All the social constructs that every social interaction is based on starts to be sucked out of the air like a vacuum cleaner. Whoa. And then people don't know what to do. That's why I usually don't do it. And you'll find this in your own experience. It's not always safe to do that. It's not always the best thing to do that. You need to also learn to consciously cloak yourself. But it's also good to experiment with it so that you can get a feel for the effects that it has. But literally, people will not be able to talk to you. Their brains will be scrambled because the presence, the energy, the frequency becomes so high and palpable that their minds are taken over. And because they're identified with their mind and not with their true free will, their true consciousness, which is able to navigate beyond and free of the mind, as well as through the mind, because that free will has not yet been found to be what they really are, that consciousness. All they know is mind. When the mind is sucked out of the space because you are too present, they have no modus operandi. They have no way of operating. And some really weird things can happen. And so it's not entirely fair. It's not entirely, it borders on infringing upon free will, even though the mind is not really their free will anymore, but that too needs to be honored. So you need to learn how to cloak, when you become really powerful in this energy, you need to learn how to soften that vibration, how to think a little more, how to act a little bit more like human and like you're seeking for validation and like you understand the interaction that's happening. You need to kind of play the game because you see through the veil. It's like you're seeing through the matrix, but your body is in the matrix. And it's like, okay, what are you going to do with the situation? You see through all their stuff, and it's very intimidating to people, and they feel it when you see it. Even though there's no judgment that comes with it in you, they will judge themselves for what you see in them. So it scares them. Does this make sense? So you gotta ease up on them also. But when you're by yourself or people that you trust, amp that shit up as high as you can. Increase your vibration, your frequency, your presence of consciousness. And it's like being on psychedelics without being on psychedelics. It just gets really zing. And then the sense of the body starts to dissolve in it. And if you go deep enough, just this light remains. Vroom. If you go beyond that, just this empty space of love remains. Boom. Things visible start disappearing. When you go beyond that, only awareness, with no point or location or space of any kind. When you go beyond that, the absolute infinite perfection before anything was ever made manifest. This cannot be described. It is beyond experiences. It's beyond perception. It's beyond any mode of perceiving. It's beyond consciousness. Yet it can be realized.